They're going to be fine, but as a Yankees fan right now, first of all, it's very frustrating to watch. Second of all, they're boring.
That person who has really broken onto the scene, and that is Vlad Guerrero Jr., the man breaking out into a superstar.
Welcome to FN Studios. Here with Kody, Kevin, and Greg, this is the Dropout Sports.
Welcome in, guys, to another Dropout Sports special with Greg, Kody, and Kevin. Kevin on top, Greg on bottom. I'm in the middle, although I don't think it's going to be that way.
That's not how they're going to see it.
That's not how they're going to see it, no.
Have you never watched one of our videos?
I just said that's not how it's going to be. I think you should just keep this in, honestly. The viewers need to know what we're like.
They need to know how much work Kevin puts into editing.
Kevin edits the crap out of it.
He makes it look like this.
Yeah, because we mess it up so much, as you just saw, and we're going to keep that in. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit of baseball, as we usually love to do. And I shouldn't even say a little bit, because I think we all got a decent amount of stuff to talk about, and we're really excited to talk about. Greg's holding some card that nobody cares about. Aaron Judge? Oh, who's that guy? The guy that's a little bit worse than Bryce Harper?
Like a TV show or something?
Oh. If we ever want to get Greg all riled up, we'll talk about Bryce Harper versus Aaron Judge, but that's another day. But other than that, I'm excited, guys. But real quick, I just wanted to ask, how's your weekend?
I've been playing MLB The Show way too much.
What about you, Kev?
I can't complain, man. Just watching some movies, getting ready for finals, you know.
Yeah, how's your schoolwork going though?
Oh, it's been dropping. Not gonna lie, but hey, I'm enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying being here with you boys talking about sports.
Speaking of dropping, let's talk about Greg's favorite team, the Yankees. How they been doing?
The transition, my goodness, you caught me off guard a little bit. That was so good. So, well, let's see. They just won tonight, so I think that makes them 7-11 at this point. 7-11, bottom of the AL East. I don't know if they're the worst record in the AL at this point, but they're pretty darn close if they're not. And I don't know, man. I mean, here's the thing, because as a stats guy, as I understand like small sample size, I understand all this stuff, but at the same time, it sucks. It sucks right now. I mean, if you're a Yankees fan, you gotta be frustrated right now. This team is so much better than what they're showing, and you are digging yourself a hole still. It's still a hole that you have to get out of. They're gonna be fine. The offense is gonna show up. That's the best part of this team, is their offense, and that's the part that has been awful so far. They're bottom 5 in the league in offense right now. They're going to be fine, but as a Yankees fan right now, first of all, it's very frustrating to watch. Second of all, they're boring. They've been boring too. It's boring to watch Yankees baseball right now. There's not enough excitement. They're not having a lot of fun with each other. It seems like it's just a lot of stuff has dropped off from previous years.
It doesn't seem fun at all. Like, it used to be like, oh, they have Aaron Judge hits a home run, Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run the next day. It's like they always had one person putting runs on the board, but maybe they were just too reliant on the home run ball. And I don't know, but I saw that they attacked pitching also in the offseason, but I don't think they attacked it enough. It seemed like they did with the people that they got, but it was pretty risky signs, if that makes sense. So, like, they went out and got Corey Kluber, who was thought to be done with his career just kind of toward the end of it, and dealt with a lot of injury lately. And he's been okay, but I don't think he's really going to work out. His velocity's down a lot, which is what I've heard. But, I mean, sure, he could be a back of the rotation guy. And Jameson Taillon, I'm pretty sure, has been pretty bad. I don't know. Has he been pretty bad, Greg?
He's been definitely been expecting a lot more from him, and he showed a little bit of that last start, though. He did show a little bit of it. I just think he's turned a corner. He hasn't been on a baseball field in 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I feel like he's just kind of got to pick it up again. So,
but your lineup is it's messy.
It's been awful. Yeah,
to say the least.
I mean, made Jay Bruce retire.
Straight up. I mean, here with all of the stuff that's been thrown at the Yankees of recent, there is a silver lining there. I mean, for how bad their batting has been, their pitching has surprisingly done very well. Tied for 6th in ERA with a 3.41. They've been producing. It's just the bats that haven't been going. And the fact that that's been the Yankees' bread and butter year after year, I think that's a sign that they can get back to that very easily. And I think that, honestly, they're not going to be at the bottom of the AL East for long. If you look at the competition they're against,
I mean, I think actually it's pretty good competition. Like, I think it's a pretty underrated division this year. I mean, everybody thought, and I'm pretty sure the Red Sox started off really slow, but they
Up by the Orioles.
but that we don't need to talk about them. but other than that, I mean, I think it's a decent division. You got the Blue Jays, you got the Braves, who are always competitive, and the Blue Jays have like basically made the Yankees put the Yankees on a collar and walked them around like a dog with the way they've been playing against them. So that, I mean, I don't know. I think the Yankees are kind of down right now, and I think they're going to stay that way unless their bats really, really pick up. But I don't see that out of Mike Ford and whoever they decide to bring up to start some fire.
You say that, but you also don't mention the fact that they have two-time top three, two years straight top three MVP vote getter DJ LeMahieu. You got Aaron Judge, who is staying healthy so far. The yoga's been working out. The yoga has been working out. He's stretched out and he's staying healthy. Giancarlo Stanton just always goes through cycles like this where he's terrible for a little bit and then he'll catch fire like he did in the playoffs last year and he'll hit 6 home runs in 3 games or some crazy crap like that. And I mean, Luke Voigt's coming back mid-May. Luke Voigt's going to be back, home run leader last year. Gio Urshela has still been pretty good, and Clint Frazier has been weirdly off his game too. It's a bunch of guys who can still play, who can still hit. Aaron Hicks is still out there. Who knows what you got with Gary Sanchez though? You got a couple of guys that are question marks for sure, but at the same time,
I think Gary is not a worry. Honestly, I really don't.
No.
He's been good this year. Absolutely, he's been good this year. But you just never know when it might fall off at any time. I mean, I guess I'm not going to judge too hard until Luke Voigt gets back and they got their full lineup. So we'll see. But the Yankees usually struggle, and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo are still healthy right now. So you hope to see Luke Voigt join the lineup with them in case they get injured.
I'll add a little bit to it. I just want to harken back to the whole competition thing. The Blue Jays totally messed with the Yankees. I get that, but I mean, the Blue Jays don't have the best record either. I think 8-10. The Orioles just lost Santander, also Austin Hayes, so they're gonna be in the bottom. I'm gonna be honest. The Red Sox, I think they're on a high. I think they're gonna fall, and then the Rays are very consistent. So that's one team that you might have to just bow down to, but still a race for second, I think.
I don't know. For me at this point, I just get the feeling that I don't think the Rays are that team in the division right now. I don't know. I don't think they're the team to beat, for me at least. I feel like the Red Sox are up there with their lineup. Yeah. And I mean, at some point, their lineup is insane. I mean, it's 1 through 9. 1 through 9, every single hitter, you got to worry about them. And at the same time, and the Blue Jays too, I think. But obviously, the Rays aren't going to be a pushover either. If the Rays are top 2 in the division at the end of the year, I'm not going to be surprised. I just don't put them there right now.
How about Nathan Eovaldi?
How about Garrett Richards? How about my guy? That's my guy, Garrett Richards. He's only allowed 2 barrels all season so far. Garrett Richards has, which you don't see it really in the stats, but he hasn't been allowing hard contact that much. So I don't know. Pitching has sort of been working out for them, and they are going to get Chris Sale back at some point too, which it's not going to be soon. It's going to be maybe July, August, but he is going to be back at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, but Nathan Eovaldi really surprised me. He's pitching very good to start off the season with a 5-pitch sequence. I got nothing else on the Yankees. You guys done with the Yankees?
Good.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, you should be done with them too and come join the Reds. But
Kody, you know better than anyone. If I left the Yankees for anyone, it'd be the Angels.
The Angels, and you're a big Rays guy too.
I like the Rays, and it sucks because they're in the same division as the Yankees. But I just love the way they handle everything down there. They're very analytical, and it's hard not to like that underdog team. They've got like one of the lowest payrolls in the MLB. So
yeah.
So real quick, do you guys just want to to end this conversation, since we were talking about that division, rank the division, predict what the end of the year is going to look like after about almost 20 games in?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Greg.
All right. So I'm going to say, off the top of my head, Yankees still finished first. They're going to come back. It's a long season. They're only 10% of the way through right now. You got 90% of the season still left. I think Yankees finished first, and man, I don't know, man. I'm going to say Red Sox number 2, and Blue Jays 3, Rays 4, Orioles 5, but I don't think that gap hits. I think those top 4 teams are close. I don't think that gap hits until Rays between the Orioles. I think there's a big gap talent-wise between those teams.
You roll with the punches. I'm still thinking about the JJ Hardy days. But I mean,
You want Manny Machado back
at third, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go really against the grain there. I'm gonna have Rays first, big on them, as I've just said. Yankees second. I think they're gonna come back. They're the Yankees. Like with the bullpen going as they are, the starting 5 going as they are. I mean, just get a couple barrels going. What else you gotta say? Red Sox 3. They're gonna be decent. Blue Jays 4. I think they're too new of a team, like too new of a mix of a team, I guess. And then these boys going 5. If we can get if we can get Mullins and Stewart going, maybe a 4. But
I don't even know who those guys are.
Cedric Mullins? Excuse me?
Yeah, come on.
He was batting like 600 at the beginning of the year. Hello.
Not updated on the Orioles. I'm sorry. They're like the least exciting team in the MLB. Anyways.
Colorado Rockies, excuse me.
Okay,
Yeah, bro.
Anyways, I'm going to leave mine because I have one of my topics is on one of the teams. So I'm just going to leave that for later.
Now we're just going to kind of do a little rapid fire here. Just one topic after another. We've got some ready, some not. Kody, you want to take it over?
Yeah, so I'll go first. I want to talk about – I decided to look up some of my favorite players so far this season just to talk about them and their expected stats and just stats in general so far throughout the season. And that person who has really broken onto the scene, and I have them as breakout time baby in all caps in my doc, and that is Vlad Guerrero Jr. The man is breaking out into a superstar. Everybody knew he was going to be. Everybody knew that he basically already was. Everybody knew his name when he came to the league. Big guy who hits the ball very, very hard and very, very far. That's what everybody knew about him. And he is doing that. He is hitting the ball very hard. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr., here's some stats for you so far, 20 games through the season, about 20 games. Expected batting average is 360, is top 3% of the league so far. Expected slug is 605, that's top 10% of the league. His WOBA is 497, top 2% of the league. His expected WOBA is 467, which is top 4% of the league, and bases batted, which is so much higher. I think his highest was 8%, and that was last season. Right now it's 18.4%. That's top 5% of the league. So he's walking a lot too. So the man is doing everything right so far. And I really like watching him play. He's exciting. That's all I got for Vlad. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, he started off a little slow, and I just feel like in his career, not this year, he's having a completely dominant year this year so far, obviously. His career started off a little slow, though, and I think people were kind of expecting him to really pop off right at the beginning of his career. You know, we saw Juan Soto come in the league at 19, and he was immediately one of the best hitters in the league. We saw Ronald Acuna do the same thing. We saw Tatis do the same thing. So I feel like baseball fans were really spoiled with, guys like those, and then Vlad comes in the league and he's not that great for a year or two, and a lot of people just called him a bust immediately. But that's just how it works for most guys coming up in the league. It usually takes you a year or two to really get into things. So I just think this is the Vlad we're going to see from here on out. And also he lost 40 pounds this offseason, and he put in a lot more work. So but I just feel like this is the Vlad we're going to see. He's great. It's exciting to see. I hate that it's in the Yankees division, but that just means I get to watch Vlad at least 19 times per year. So I guess I can find a silver lining in that.
Yeah, Greg, I feel you on that 19 times a year.
Yeah.
It's tough, yeah, but I think you honestly said all that I was thinking. His name got lost in the lights. We always think about like Soto, Tatis, Acuna, Suarez, but I think now this is the year. This year, next year, we're gonna see Guerrero just.
Did you say Suarez?
Did I? Why do I keep saying Suarez?
Like Eugenio Suarez? Because I did see a stat that said that he was only third to Mike Trout and someone else, I don't know who it was, in home runs in the past 162 games. He's really bad this year so far, but I just wanted to give a shout out to my guy Eugenio because good vibes only. He's the nicest guy in the league. Greg, what's your topic?
I mean, if I don't talk about this guy, my head's going to explode because I got to talk about him every single time we talk baseball.
Oh, no.
Apparently. Shohei Ohtani. You go sort on Baseball Savant, exit velocity and barrels leaderboard. You go to barrels per plate appearance percentage. Guess who number one is? Shohei Ohtani. He's hitting the crap out of the ball. He's absolutely crushing the ball right now. It's amazing to see. I love it. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say. This guy is just absolutely phenomenal. But he's walking a lot of guys when he pitches. He's only pitched 2 games. He took a long break because of that whole thing with the collision at home plate. But he finally pitched again on Tuesday. He did walk like 6 guys. I don't know, but he's hitting the ball hard. He's still got a 1 ERA right now. I think it's 1.04 ERA.
The only thing he's struggling with is walks so far, and that's what he struggled with every time he's tried to pitch.
That's just a symptom of control.
Walks a lot of batters.
Yeah, I mean, he is a little wild when it comes to stuff like that, but also at the same time, it's just so fun watching him out there.
When's the last time we had something this exciting, like a play or an event?
The fact that I can sit here and talk about the Angels and how exciting they are, and that's without talking about Mike Trout, I don't know. I think he's not the best player on his team. Definitely not, obviously. But I feel like he's the most exciting player on that team.
Do you think the closest, most exciting thing that we've seen would be like Bryce Harper coming onto the scene?
I don't know, man. I guess it really just depends on how you watch baseball, but
it's exciting.
If we're talking Bryce Harper, that 2015 season that he put up, I mean, that was like
incredible.
A historically great season, like one that you only see once every like 20, 30 years from guys like that. I mean, maybe even less often than that. It was literally one of the best seasons that anyone has ever had, ever. Like he was on like, you'll hear a bunch of names repeated from me, but it was on like Barry Bonds pace. Like that, it was that kind of stuff that we were seeing from him in that 2015 season. And I would love to see that from him again, but he has never been even close to where he was that year. He's still been great, don't get me wrong, but he's never been that guy before that or after. But that was, I mean, for me, I think that was the most exciting thing we've seen.
Kev, what is itching your brain that you just can't wait to talk about in the MLB?
Okay, so I'm not a Fangraphs guy. I'm not a Baseball Savant guy like these guys, but I can swivel my way around some advanced statistics, and I just found a fun little fact just going on Sports Reference here and there. So here we go. In 2005, Roger Clemons had a 2.26 ERA plus. That would be like, I think 19th, tied for 19th all time, like in a season. And he had a 1.87 ERA. He only got 3rd in NL Cy Young voting, and he lost to Chris Carpenter, who had a 1.50 ERA plus and a 2.83 ERA. Also, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Why is that, Kevin?
So apparently there's this thing called like PEDs. I don't know
what that stands for, but it doesn't sound very good to me.
It sounds amazing to me. It sounds like he could do better because of it. It almost sounds like in his his age 42 season, he could be hurling the best in his career.
Weird. Sounds like Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Almost like Barry Bonds, you know?
That's what I was thinking about. I don't know. You got anything on Kev's statistic?
Do you have that ERA plus leaderboard right in front of you?
No, but I can get it. I remember some parts of it.
I can tell you who's number one. It's Pedro Martinez.
Yeah.
Pedro Martinez, number one.
2000 season.
I have it written on my headboard in my bedroom.
Pedro Martinez. We'll probably talk about it at some point. Yeah. But I just want to get it out there. That's my best pitcher of all time.
Same.
Definitely, there's arguments to be had. Sure, whatever. Pedro Martinez's peak, his 7-year peak, we're never going to see that again. I don't think we're ever going to see anything like that again. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, just looking at those stats and watching it. And don't forget that it was in the middle of the steroid era too, when Barry Bonds, when Sammy Sosa, when Mark McGwire that was like 1998 when that peak started. That was the home run race year when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were fighting back and forth for who was going to hit who was going to break that Roger Maris record. But yeah, I mean, he did it right in the middle of that. It's just, I love talking about that.
I guess we're going to move on to my next topic,
which I think will be the last topic.
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I could ramble on a little bit and let you guys say some stuff. All right, sounds good. My breakout pitcher, baby, in all caps and all bold, so far has been a guy who I love so much because I drafted him very late in my fantasy baseball draft. Trevor Rogers, been a dear of mine and real good to me in fantasy baseball, even though I'm 0-2 leading the league in points. Trevor Rogers has been fantastic for the Miami Marlins. I'm going to throw out some stats real quick. Expected batting average against 86th percentile. 90th percentile in K percentage, 95th percentile in whiff percentage. He has only allowed one barrel all year, and that is only behind Brandon Woodruff and Sandy Alcantara. I know I said that wrong, Greg, but I can't remember how to say it right. Anyways, Trevor Rogers has been fantastic. He is a very tall lefty that throws 95. He's sitting around 95 average fastball. He throws 3 pitches: fastball, slider, changeup. He throws his fastball 62% of the time. He throws his slider 19% of the time and changeup 18% of the time. And he's been very, very, very good. And the only thing that he has a knock on right now, he's a very young pitcher. I mean, this is his first full year with the Marlins, and he is showing out. Like, people cannot touch him. He went 7 innings for the first time yesterday, 2 days ago, and he was fantastic. And I just can't like he's so much fun to watch. If you haven't watched Trevor Rogers pitch, watch him pitch. I mean, he has batters looking absolutely silly right now. That's all I got.
I don't have much to say, but Kody, you're gonna like this. I'm looking at similar pitchers to Trevor Rogers from Baseball Savant. We got Sonny Gray sitting right there.
Yeah,
similar to Sonny Gray. Also, 2020 Sonny Gray, 2020 Joe Musgrove, 2020 Aaron Nola.
Ooh.
Those are some good names to be sitting around right now. Like,
yeah, that Joe Musgrove guy that did something no hit. I don't know. I didn't read the book. You guys got anything else?
I mean, don't need to talk about anything else. I would talk about Corbin Burns, but I still got to get that thing written, and I'm gonna have that.
Greg's gonna write for.
By the time this episode comes out, I will have it. I know I said it last time. It's gonna be out by the time this episode comes out.
He's a consistent guy when it comes to getting things done. But MLB The Show came out, and he's in finals week, so he's working hard. He's gonna get the Corbin Burns thing done because that's all he talks about anymore. Corbin Burns and Juan Soto, and then he sleeps with his Barry Bonds stats. Anyway, other than that, guys, Kev, you got anything else real quick?
Nah, just may everybody have a blessed week.
Oh yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice. I'll say the same for you guys.
I beat Kody in fantasy baseball. Subscribe to the TWSN YouTube channel. Go look at the website. Download the app. I'm Greg. That's Kody. That's Kevin.
Who leads the league in points?
See you guys. Kody's 0-2.